Alright, what up, though? How everybody feeling, man? Quick tutorial on trend lines, okay? This is going to be part one for that tutorial, okay? So remember what I told y'all about swing highs and swing lows from the market structure video. When it comes to trend lines, let's say for an uptrend, right? We want to go from swing low to swing low, okay? So remember, here's our swing low here. We have a swing high, we have a swing low. All right, let's stop there. So remember, we're going from swing low to swing low. This is point A from that first swing low. This is point B from the second swing low. Okay. First touch, second touch, 2 touches is all you need for a trend line to be validated as a trend line, okay? Okay, let's look at another one. Swing low to swing low. Here's a swing low here. I'm gonna mark this clear for y'all. Here's a swing low there. Here's a swing low here. I'm just doing this so y'all can see it. And here's a swing low here. Swing lows is the lowest point of the pullback, okay? Here's a swing low there. All right, so swing low is the lowest point of the pullback. It's way back here. Look how low it is. Swing low. This is a swing high here. This is a swing low here. This is a swing high. This is a swing low. Swing high, swing low, swing high, swing low, swing high, okay? Now, you may not get a perfect trend line, okay? But if you come over, let's see, I'm gonna go point A to point B, okay? That's how I'm gonna do it. All right, now, this is a validated trend line. So what happens if price break this? We're gonna get 2 touches. If you wanna get 2 touches, we wanna get 2 touches. The trend line is broke, okay? Now you gotta probably draw a new one. So then you would go from point A to point B. Let's see how far this go. All right, see that? 1 touch, 2 touch, boom. The price didn't really respect it that much moving forward, so. And that's because the upward trend is a little choppy and it's, what's the word I'm looking for? It's grinding up. It's choppy, so that's why it's not a perfect. But the thing with trend lines, when you get a breaking structure, right? When you get a big breaking structure and the retest below that, you know price is about to, for the most part, trade the other way. It's time to get out that trade. Sometimes when it breaks structure, at least oftentimes, like for me, because I place my stop loss below structure, right? So below trend line. So if I make a trade here, right? My stop loss would be right below it. Boom. I enter here. So boom, boom, boom. The only time I'm gonna get out is if it hit my stop loss, right? So let's say I trail my stop loss up below previous structure, right? Even though we got a break in that trend line, it still didn't hit my stop loss yet. I wouldn't even get out because I know this is also a retest of structure. How do I know that? Going back to our market structure video. Look at that retest of structure right there. So we got a trend line break, but we also got a retest of structure. We got to remember that. So remember that trend lines, right? It's 2 touches that makes it valid. Let's do some downtrend, a couple downtrend trend lines, and then that'll conclude the video, man. But it's just that simple, man. It's something you work on, and if you notice, I went from wick to wick, okay? Let's use this one over here. All right, wick to wick, y'all. Downtrend, going short for this downtrend here, trend lines. Now for trend lines, you know, for uptrends, we go from swing low to swing low. For downtrends, it's the opposite. We're going from swing high to swing high, okay? So swing high to swing high, 2 touches make it valid, okay? All right, there's a couple ways we can do this, y'all. and start from the highest point. I go from wick to wick. I don't go from body to body. The wicks is here. From wick to wick, boom. Right? And you can also do a couple of them, but that's that trend line. So let's go ahead and talk about this for a minute. All right, so price started up here. Swing high, swing low. Look, we got two swing highs. First swing high, second swing high. 2 touches. That's a valid trend line. Now look when it traded off aggressively. Then it came back up to retest this trend line. Before entering a trade, y'all, we want to see a nice retest of structure. Price wasn't able to retest the structure because it actually broke out of that trend line. Okay. So I just want to show y'all that. Now let's look at another. We want to draw another trend line because price is a little more. The trend looks more dominant. It's not as tapered like this one. So let's go ahead. This is what I do. I will go ahead and draw another one for another 2 touches. All right, bet. Got 2 more touches right there. Now look at this trend line, y'all. Look at the second one. I'm gonna change the color. Look at the yellow trend line. We got 1, 2. We got 3 touches, and prices like it likes that level. It likes that trend line. So this is a valid trend line. What this is telling you is that hey. First of all, we don't have any swing highs or swing lows. This is just from candle touches from the wicks because sellers sold off aggressively. We didn't get any pullbacks. But from all these wicks, we have touches. Okay, now let's look for one where we have swing high, swing lows. Let me go down the structure, go down the time frame, get more action for y'all. That's a nice one. Look at this. How would y'all draw this trend line right here? How would you draw this trend line? All right, we're going down. So from swing high to swing high, all we need is 2 touches. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Swing high, right? Because our swing low is there. Here we got another swing high, so 2 touches. Boom. That's a valid trend line. Swing high to swing high. That's a valid trend line to the downside. Okay. Let me see something here. I was curious about something. Yep, so there we go. That's what make a trend line valid. Swing high to swing high. Okay. This is a high. Swing low. Swing high. That's our second touch. Swing low. It came back up to retest this trend line, but instead it broke it. It broke out of the trend line. It retested it. Right? It retested the trend line. Price kind of consolidated right above it, only to trade back down in the first place. Y'all see that? So trend lines alone is not good enough, y'all. Now, at least for me, it's not. Everybody have their own trading style. I know Tori trades. She only uses trend lines. She's pretty dope with it. So let's look at a little bit of market structure. All right, we're gonna look at some market structure. I'm gonna show y'all why I like to use more than just trend lines. So I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I expect price to pull back anyway because it never retested the structure. When it broke out of here, when it broke out of this structure, we never got the retest, right? We never got any type of pullback or anything, so I already expect price to pull back. It just would have been nice if it would have pulled back to this trend line for those, I'm sure some people got faked out. Now, remember what I told y'all, I like to place my stop loss right above market structure. So, I'm gonna show you why. The entry would have been made here, okay? If I would have made the entry here, my stop loss would have been here. So even though price broke this trend line, right? It never retested. It didn't come all the way up to the top and it never reached my stop loss at all. And it continued to sell off. So I still would have been in the play. I still would have been in the play anyway. I wouldn't have got faked out with the trend line. So that's why I'm using a combination of things. I like to use a combination of market structure, price action, and I do like trend lines. that's really all I need. So I hope y'all enjoyed this video, man. Remember, Trendlines, 2 valid touches, preferably from the wicks, from wick to wick, and give you valid trendline setup, man. I'll get at y'all in a minute. Sure, like and subscribe. This is only part 1 of that video. We got more coming for y'all for Trendlines 100.